Donald Trump. I've been paying attention to his presidential picks for the positions in his administration. I am hearing and noticing through my own research that a lot of them do not have the proper qualifications for the positions they're being nominated for. It looks to me like these people are implementers of Project 2025, and I'm pretty sure that the majority of us people who see what's going on are not really digging this whole administration setup, and that's being nice about it. I think we should definitely stay vigilant about it. That's what I'm going to say about that. I meant to say that beforehand. Okay, we're going to go back to the National Recovery Act. So, one of the things we're going to look at my little outline here. So, our healthcare system and our education system is really out of whack. Some of the things that we're going to do in addition to implementing knowledge from our, hopefully with an agreement with them, with our Native American tribes, is making sure that our physicians and our other medical personnel are given access, our current medical staff and personnel, that they are given access to that education to help them improve upon their current position. We're also going to make sure that the government, through the appropriate agency, is going to make sure that staff and clinics have the appropriate funding that they need for making sure that salaries are paid, there's materials, there's adequate equipment, maintenance, all of it. We're going to make sure that they're taken care of so that we can make sure that we don't have to pay any extra out-of-pocket expenses when we need to go to the doctor. And this is part of the national healthcare system. It's the opt-in through the W-2 that'll be set up through this legislation. Obviously, our patients have rights that are already established. None of those are going to change. Right to privacy, right to health care. We are going to make sure that our patients have a little more access to medical personnel for questions. And this is going to be done through, for those who are able to utilize their phone, it can be done through the app on their phone that they're able to access their health records through. Here in Washington, it's MyChart, so something similar to that throughout every state. I think this is going to make it easier for people to not only take care of their health and manage their health, but have communication with medical professionals when they need it, especially if they have a question about something that could potentially be dangerous and they want to make sure that it's something that's not going to affect them negatively. We want to make sure that our hospitals and clinics are taken care of. We want to make sure our doctors are taken care of. We also want to make sure that concierge doctors are able to get in on this. There is a portion of this act or a portion of the system where concierge doctors, if they take on a certain amount of patients through the National Healthcare Act, then they will get an appropriate amount for care for that particular patient. So this way we can sort of bring in more doctors, more physicians. It also allows us to utilize those who are retired to assist in training new individuals in the field to pass along knowledge, essentially, without damaging their retirement benefits. And in doing so, it would actually benefit their retirement benefits. It would increase their benefits. This is also true of the national education system, but I'll get into that a little bit here in a minute. We can afford this through the opt-in of the W-2. It is built into uh, the National Healthcare Agency. That way, their funding helps pay for all of the stuff that we need it to pay for, including surgeries, including necessary medications, without the out-of-pocket expense. As far as the national education system goes, it's going to be very similar in that we'll be able to utilize retirees to help pass along knowledge, education, and just for a time, and it will benefit their retirement. We're going to make sure that our educators are paid appropriately. After doing some figuring, after researching, after reading up a lot on what educators are currently going through, I believe that it's appropriate to implement a starting wage for the national education system of $75,000 for beginning teachers. Those who have experience would be paid actually more than that, based off of their experience and based off of their performance in those roles. There's a couple of different ways to determine that, of course, and each individual teacher is going to be different. But getting that starting wage up is going to help our economy greatly, not only because teachers are going to be able to afford to pay for the things they need to pay for, but also because we're going to help teach our students about economics all throughout their schooling. There's little ways that we can do it. I actually submitted a video called Penny for Your Thoughts, and this is part of the economic teaching that we're going to implement in the curriculum of the national education system. Our students are going to learn how to really be more involved with each other in a community setting. They're going to learn more personal boundaries and understanding how to respect those boundaries. There's going to be a nice little take back on the curriculum. We're going to go back to the 80s and 90s when the curriculum for education, especially in Washington State where I'm at, was much better, when they taught things like breaking down problems and handwriting and phonics regularly in school. We're going to be teaching that, making sure that our people understand how finances work with our economy and understand their role in our economy as an individual in this nation, as a citizen of the United States, as a consumer, as a possible business owner, as an entrepreneur. They're going to learn about these things early on. These are things that are necessary for our people to have a successful path in their life. We're also going to be implementing safety measures. I talked a little bit about this in my last video regarding the border security and other safety systems with our citizens in different places. So one of the things I think is important is implementing the security systems that are currently available, to implement them into the schools. Right now they might be more expensive, but we can work on lowering the costs for those. I thank you for your time, and may our path lead to peace and prosperity.